Welcome back, viewers. As of the latest reports, a significant and intense conflict has erupted in the Amhara region, with multiple fronts witnessing fierce battles between Amhara Fano forces and the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, ENDF. This conflict is rapidly spreading to various areas within the Amhara region, raising concerns about its escalating nature and potential consequences. One of the focal points of this ongoing conflict is the South Gonder region, where heavy fighting is currently underway. South Gonder holds strategic importance as it is situated along the A3 highway, a critical transportation route in the region. Reports indicate that the intensity of the fighting in this area is exceptionally high, with both sides heavily engaged. Specifically, it has been reported by Fano sources that the ENDF has suffered significant losses in the vicinity of Maksenyit, a town near Gonder along the A3 highway. According to these sources, Fano forces claim to have dealt a severe blow to the ENDF in this particular front, resulting in substantial casualties for the Ethiopian army. Notably, it has been reported that 2 ENDF regiment commanders, both holding the rank of colonel, have been killed in action. It's important to mention that a regiment typically comprises 2 battalions, which underscores the gravity of these losses. Further reports from the deputy commander of a brigade, which includes a battalion, confirm the severity of the situation in Maksenyit, emphasizing the significant impact of this conflict on the Ethiopian army's capabilities in the region. The conflict in South Gonder is not limited to Maksenyit, as heavy fighting continues in many other areas within the region. Residents in the vicinity have reported the use of heavy weaponry by the ENDF, suggesting the intensity and scale of the conflict. Gonder itself, being a substantial city in terms of both population and strategic importance within the Amhara region, is a critical battleground for both sides. It is anticipated that both Amhara Fano forces and the ENDF will exert maximum efforts to gain control of the city. The situation in Gonder is particularly concerning due to its status as a densely populated urban center. There is a palpable fear that if the conflict were to spill into the streets of Gonder, it could result in significant civilian casualties and extensive damage to property. The ongoing heavy fighting in the Amhara region, particularly in South Gonder, represents a rapidly evolving and intense conflict with substantial strategic and humanitarian implications. The situation is fluid, and further developments are closely monitored by various sources. The Tigrayans have leaders like Debretsion Gebremichael and Sadkan Gebretensai, who are dedicated to what they believe is important for the Tigrayan people. Similarly, the Oromo have leaders such as Abiy Ahmed and Shimelis Abdissa, who are committed to the cause of the Oromo. But when it comes to official leaders who are equally dedicated to the cause of the Amhara people, it's a different story. Unfortunately, there aren't Amhara leaders who can match the dedication of figures like Debretsion Gebremichael or Shimelis Abdissa. Instead, the official Amhara leaders seem to be under the control of Abiy Ahmed and Shimelis Abdissa, acting as their puppets. They carry out orders to arrest, imprison, and even harm Amharas who are defending their right to exist. The Amhara people have played a significant role in Ethiopian history. They have a history of cooperation with other ethnic groups like the Oromos, Tigrayans, Somalis, Garages, Sidamas, Afars, the Anuak, and Walayitas. Together, they have built a nation that has resisted European attempts to subjugate Ethiopia for centuries. Today, Ethiopia faces an internal enemy in the form of the Prosperity Party, which is more insidious and destructive than any external threat. This party is trying to instigate conflict between the Amhara and Oromo by erasing their shared history and cultural heritage as Ethiopians. In reality, both Amharas and Oromos have diverse Ethiopian influences in their heritage, and there is no such thing as ethnic purity among them. The idea of ethnic purity is a misconception pushed by the leaders of the Prosperity Party who seem to have forgotten the intertwined history and cultures of Ethiopia. They suffer from a kind of historical amnesia. While there may be differences between Amharas and Oromos, these conflicts are often orchestrated by power-hungry and corrupt leaders within the Prosperity Party. Believing that the current conflict is solely between Amharas and Oromos is a misunderstanding akin to the false narrative promoted by the Prosperity Party leaders. To overcome the challenges they face, the Amhara people need leaders who are truly dedicated to their survival and freedom, capable of turning military victories into political success. However, it's crucial to understand that the freedom of the Amhara is intertwined with the freedom of all Ethiopians. A united and strong Amhara leadership that believes in the principle of the Amhara cannot be free without all Ethiopians becoming free can potentially lead to a pan-Ethiopian unity against the divisive ethnic politics of the Prosperity Party. If such unity is achieved, it could spell the end of the Prosperity Party's political influence and the beginning of a brighter future for Ethiopia, free from ethnic hatred and ethnic cleansing. Abiy Ahmed's leadership has been marked by failure. The ongoing civil war is not just a conflict between his regime and Amhara special forces and Fano. It is a broader resistance from the Amhara population and citizens across the country. Various factors, including the devastating Tigray civil war, ethnic polarization, violence, economic mismanagement, poverty, inflation, corruption, and attempts to impose Oromo ethnic dominance, have fueled widespread discontent. Abiy's military actions have further damaged the fragile Ethiopian economy, leading to disruptions in the flow of goods and services, high inflation, and increased poverty. Public sector corruption, particularly in construction, mining, and procurement, has raised allegations of nepotism and kleptocracy. In summary, Ethiopia's current chaos and instability can be traced back to Abiy's poor leadership and tyranny. As a result, citizens in the Amhara region and beyond are demanding their fundamental rights and liberties, including freedom, justice, rule of law, equality, accountability, agency, dignity, and human rights. In an attempt to consolidate power and suppress these demands, Abiy has deployed the military under the false pretext of integrating regional special forces into federal institutions, a strategy that is likely to fail. Thank you for tuning in today, and we hope you found this content engaging and informative. Before we wrap up, we'd like to encourage you to consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. Subscribing not only allows you to stay updated with our latest content, but it also helps support us in bringing you more of the content you love.